This nibble originally aired on RSBANDB Update, episode 802, Into the Shadows. Enjoy.
But yeah, once you've had a look at all these logs and you've kind of developed a character a bit through these pages and you've unlocked all the doors, you get to access the vault, you get to access this little gold box in the center of the vault. And you can find a shadow engrammator, which is very similar to the engrammator you pick up through the Marshrat Memories mini quest.
Oh boy.
Yep, now you see where we're going, right?
Yeah. And you go charge that up in the usual way with divine energy through divination. And then you come back here and use it and you pick up Trindine's memory. Okay. Take that to Azanadra, say, what's this all about? He'll transcribe it for you. Turns out she's still alive. She's hidden in the Shadow Realm. She's been staying there all this time to preserve her energy and to kind of pass the time until someone can come in there and free her. So this is the finale almost. This is the build-up of the entire site. You've then got to go get Trindine back. And you find her hidden deep in the Shadow Realm, and obviously because you've got Sliske's gift, you can actually access the Shadow Realm. You find her in a kind of semi-withered state because she wasn't present at the final ritual in Children of Ma, which gave them a permanent boon, and they no longer wither. And she initially mistakes you for Sliske.
And when you combine...
Is that a hint to what happens at the end of Sliske's endgame?
Possibly.
Also Desperate Measures with Shadow Anima.
She initially thinks that, yeah, it's Sliske come to get her.
Now you have to ask, and I don't know if anybody's asked this yet. Is this because she was expecting somebody with sole access to the Shadow Realm, Sliske, to do that? Or is it because of what happened in Sliske's endgame?
I think it's both. I think it's a mix of both. Maybe she looked at the World Guardian or maybe she felt whatever was coming closer, because we know that Marshrat have this way of sensing each other.
Yeah, kind of like a sixth sense it's almost.
It's almost like a telepathic sense. They can kind of sense each other's presence. So maybe she felt whatever's left of Sliske that's in the World Guardian coming closer. Or maybe she was expecting Sliske because no one else can access the Shadow Realm that deep. I possibly think it's both.
I'm leaning towards the fact that it's definitely got to be something to do with what happened in Sliske's endgame and all the shadowy stuff, we'll just say.
Shadowy shenanigans.
Yeah, because when you think about it, that all happened on its own. And then we weren't expecting it to go this way in Desperate Measures, right? And it did. And do you really think that they would just make one quest about that? Or is it saying that, hey, this is going to be kind of the direction that we go? And keep in mind, consider that when Archaeology launched, there was no intent at that point at this year to develop the Orthan Dig site. It was intended that this mystery would be the last mystery of the Archaeology skill, at least for now, in terms of how it was designed.
If you'd asked me that 2 years ago, I would have said that it's probably just a once-off. But now they've kind of shown that they want to include story, and they want to include a big overarching story that joins updates together and provides a consistent set of themes and references throughout sequential updates. I think this is probably all planned and all tying in for a reason that we haven't quite got to yet.
Yeah, and they said they have the whole next year plus of narrative plans, so it would make sense with that. If you talk to Trindine after you complete the mystery, she says that Azanadra has explained the situation and she's going to come to terms with it eventually. She's going to remain here and she's not ready for what awaits her above. And she's also been informed of your place, the World Guardian's place, in terms of how things are going with everything that's going on. And your player says that, you look a lot better than when I first found you. And it turns out that Azanadra actually rejuvenated her somehow. And she says that she feels like she's just left one of their sacrificial rituals, and the discussion ends right there.
Yeah, so yeah, when you basically whenever you find her, Azanadra comes down, they have a chat. He kicks the player out so they can have a private chat. And then when you talk to her again, she's kind of back to normal and back to her usual unwithered self. I think it's quite interesting how Azanadra's the one who rejuvenates her. Because there's been some hints and some implication in, I think at the end of Children of Ma especially, that Azanadra is very, very close to godhood at the moment.
That's the sense that I got, and this is what I thought when I first read this as well.
Yeah, because like, him using his power in that way strikes me as something that a Majrat wouldn't normally do. So I wonder how close he is to actual ascension at this stage.
I don't know, and you have to wonder what would be needed for that, and what exactly is his goal with bringing Trindine back, or rejuvenating her on that.
I think it makes sense because there aren't many Majrat left, and he does seem fond of her. Like the way he talks about her at the start, he misses her dearly, is the phrase he uses. Like there does seem to be some warmth there. So it kind of makes sense that he would want her to be rejuvenated and to survive in the way that the others have survived. And you've got to remember that the Majrat have changed dramatically since Children of Ma because they no longer have to kill each other to survive.
And they don't need the ritual.
They don't need the ritual anymore. So what's that going to do to them as people? Now they no longer have to be at each other's throats. So how are their dynamics going to change? I mean, there's a lot of questions that haven't been answered yet.
And unfortunately, we don't have any answers for those at this point.
Not at this stage, no.
And, I think where we were supposed to get these answers was in the, what was that quest called they wanted to do this year, the Sentistan one?
They wanted to do Sentistan. That apparently has become something else. I wonder if it's been morphed into this site.
No, it was supposed to be
the city of Sentistan.
Yeah, the
right?
city of Sentistan quest was supposed to be after Archaeology launched.
I've heard that's not been cancelled, but it's changed into something else.
Yeah.
But I wonder what that's going to be like and what that will involve. It probably will involve Trindine.
Yeah, it has to at that point. I mean, and I think it makes total sense that we'll still get something on this vein, because when you think about it, you don't start your narrative lore skill of the game at Kharid-et and end it at Kharid-et, at 118 Archaeology, only to have it, not continued in some grand way. It's very clear to me from the way that the skill was designed, the way the mysteries were designed, that this dig site, Kharid-et, was supposed to springboard off into something else. And, it'll just be a question of when that arrives. Yeah. You can find full episodes of RSBANDB Update right here on this YouTube channel. If you found this video useful or just enjoyed it, like and subscribe, or leave a comment.